it's Sarah here. Welcome to the short back sequence, which is focusing on one particular back muscle called the Quadratus Lumborum. Now, if I turn to the side, I can kind of guide you to where it roughly is. You have one on each side, they're big chunky muscles, and they connect the top of the pelvis to the bottom of the ribs. And these muscles not only stabilise our trunk, but they also help us bend from side to side and rotate. So they're pretty important muscles, but they can get grumpy and they can contribute to back pain. So this sequence is going to help stretch them out and relax them as well, which is a great way of helping them stay happy, so hopefully they avoid spasming and contributing to that nasty back pain that we can get. Now, in terms of props, you will need either a small Pilates ball or something like it. So you can use a bolster if it feels comfortable enough, or you can roll up a blanket. You know, it's just something reasonably chunky that you can put on under your ribcage, and you're going to be lying on it. So that's one thing. You may also need a block as well. So I'll give you a moment to gather those things and then I'll meet you. Okay, we are going to take the ball first of all. I'm going to take it underneath your ribcage. And then gonna either, you can relax your head down onto your bottom arm, or, you know, depending on how everything feels, you can actually stick a block in between your head and your arm, if that feels more comfortable, or a cushion, whatever you've got to hand really. And then we're just going to spend a few moments just breathing into the ball or whatever support you've got underneath your ribs. So nice full breath, inhaling down into the belly, expanding into the ribs and the chest, and then exhaling as fully as you can. And what the ball's really good at is providing that resistance. So you may feel that you can get a little bit more breath in the top ribs and the back ribs especially, which just helps to relax those muscles of the back and the inner side waist. So we're going to take another 5 breaths here. And then we're going to swap sides, so you know, you guys can just roll over. I'm going to come up and change to the other side just so my back is not facing you. And of course, I mean, we're not holding this for too long, but you can of course pause the video and take a little bit longer here if you wish. It's a really nice way of getting a little bit of a massage in the side of the ribs that are lying on the ball. And at the same time, getting that opportunity to breathe into the opposite ribs, the back body. Five more breaths. Alright, last breath. Now I can stay here all day, but I'm gonna force myself to come out. Now we're gonna stay on the same side for now. You can remove the ball, and then we're gonna come into a little side stretch. So the knees are going to be bent still. You're going to bring your elbow underneath your shoulder. So take your time with this. You know, do make sure that your elbow is sitting underneath the shoulder. Otherwise, it's, you know, you're going to have trouble getting up. All right. So the other arm, the top arm, is going to be over, just resting on the top side body. I'm going to inhale, and then as you exhale, you're just going to gently pick up your bottom hips and reach the top arm up and over, and then with the inhale we're going to bring it back down. So it's a little bit of body awakening with a nice little side stretch. Now as you come up, we're going to do 3 more. I want you to guide your tailbone towards the backs of the knees, and the reason I say that is because you'll really find that you'll get a nice sense of lengthening across this area of your back. All right, last one, come on up. And bring yourself down, and then we're going to swap sides again. So you can just roll back, and we're going to do exactly the same to the other side. So elbow directly underneath your shoulder, and then we're going to lift and we're going to lower, and just compare the sides. And again, remember to guide the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. All right, 2 more, come on up. Just feels so nice. Right, last one. All right, super job. And then from here, bring yourself up. We're going to come into the middle of the mat and bring ourselves up to a high knee position. And then we're going to stretch out the right leg. So we're going to do a little bit of side gate. So that right foot, I know you can't see because I've got the block there, just make sure you can connect it to the floor. So it doesn't have to be facing directly forwards, it can be facing a little bit out to the side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a side bend. So we're going to inhale, reach up, and exhale, stretch it over. Inhale, come out, and then exhale, just slide into it again. So again, think about that tailbone lengthening down. Okay, come up and down. All right, up and down. 2 more, and then we're going to hold it. Right, so last one, let's hang out here, and then all we're going to do is very subtly come forward. All right, so it's not a massive movement. So we're in our side bend, and you're just going to put it slightly forward and reach through the fingers. And I hope you're going to feel a nice stretch through the left side of your back. And then we're going to come up, and then we're going to come down, and we're going to go straight to the other side. So right knee in, left leg out. And we're going to reach the right arm up and then take it over. And then inhale, come on back. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, come on back. Okay, 3 more times. And again, really keep the tailbone heavy. So I don't mean tucking under, it's not what I mean here at all. I mean more of a sense that it's lengthening down towards the floor. Right, I think this is our last one. I got lost count. So come here, find that side bend, tailbone still lengthening, and then you're just coming slightly forward. But we're keeping the top shoulder open, so that's not dropping forward. It's still open, you're still reaching up and forward, rather than down and forward. Come back up and reach your hand down. And then let's come onto all fours. We'll go through a few cat-cows. So inhaling, dropping the spine, exhaling round the spine. Inhaling, coming into cat. Exhaling, using the floor to get as much movement in the spine as you can today. Let's do one more with this breath. And then come back to all fours. We're going to reverse the breath. So you're going to exhale, let your belly come to the floor. Inhale, round the spine. Exhale. Inhale. And you may feel a little bit different doing it this way. It's always worth to muck about a bit. We're going to do one more. Exhale down. And inhale to round the spine. Super job. And then from there, we're going to bring ourselves up to downward facing dog just for a moment. Lengthen through both sides of the way. Maybe wave from side to side. It's a really nice way of just easing out your back. So connect your fingers down and forward, press the thighs back. Trying to get as much length through the sideways as you can. Alright, and then bring yourself down. And then come into a seat. So we're going to play around with Janushajasana. So you might need a ball or whatever you used nearby, just in case. So we're going to open the legs, going to sit nice and tall, and feel free to sit up on something if you're feeling like your tailbone is like stuck underneath you. Please sit on something, a brick or a cushion, whatever's going to give you a little bit of lift away from the floor so your hips are above your knees, and I promise you that's going to really help with this next pose. So we're going to take the right knee in, the left leg is going to stay straight, and then we're just going to bring our our left hand onto the opposite knee. And we're going to bring ourselves into a side bend. So push gently down, reach the right arm up, and then take it over. And keep your breath nice and smooth. And then if you want to, you can play around with that slight forward action. I find it really helps to get to that spot on the right side of your lower back area. And then bring yourself up. Now what I forgot to mention was that if the knee is like up here, doesn't reach to the floor very easily, use the ball or whatever prop you use to place underneath. It's also handy, you know, if you've got no problems with the knee reaching for, you can put it under the knee as well, and that just helps to take the strain out of the hamstring. Might feel a little bit better, so do play around with that. And if you need something for each side, grab a blanket or something to put under the knee. It just stops you slamming the knee all the way down. It can just feel a bit nicer. So we're going to go into the second part of the movement now. So I'm going to turn towards your straight leg foot. Keep the collarbones as smiley and wide as you can, and then we're going to come into a forward fold. So play around with the arm position. Sometimes I like to keep mine by the side. It helps me keep my chest open. Or you can rest them either side of the foot. Or you can hug the front foot if that feels good. Again, watch the knee. You do want that leg to be pressing down, but you want a little space under the kneecap. All right, and then bring yourself up. And then we'll try the other side. So left knee in, and as you may notice, I'm not mirroring today, so you know I will be doing the opposite of what you're doing at home. Right leg stretching out. You choose. Do you need support either under the bent knee or the straight? You know, no right or wrong. Remember, it's what feels good. And then take the opposite hand to your straight leg on the bent knee. We'll lift up the left arm, and then we're reaching to the side first of all. So creating that lovely length through the left side body. And then this is where, if you want to come slightly forward, this is the bit that gets the QL, the Quadratus Lumborum, the best from my personal experience. It just feels amazing. It feels really good. Let's take one more breath. And then inhale. Bring ourselves up, and then we'll do the more traditional variation where we're going to fold over the front leg. So again, make any adjustments that makes this work for you. Remember, everybody is different. We all have different dimension. We all have different issues going on. So this is where we adapt, we make changes. Yoga needs to work for us, not the other way around. All right, one more breath. And then we'll bring ourselves up, coming to our final pose, child's pose. And this is just going to help relax the whole of the back. So we've done a lot of side stretches, we want to just let the whole back just relax now. So again, play with props. You can come into a knees together or knees out version. Just do what feels comfortable. And then we'll take the arms out, and then you can bring your head down on the floor, or you can rest it on the ball, or if you want a firmer surface, maybe a block. If you've got a cushion, that works well, or you may just want to rest it on a blanket. No big deal, just choose something that's going to work. I think I'm going to rest my head on the floor today. And then once you're there, just think about that lovely wide breath. So inhaling wide and full, belly, ribs, chest, back of the shoulders. Exhale as fully as you can. Think about your tailbone lengthening down towards the floor. It's almost like your breath is moving and massaging all the muscles that lie along your back, including that Quadratus Lumborum, the muscle that we focused on in this practice today. Now let's take a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves back up. Super job. Come into a comfortable seated position. So I hope you enjoyed that short sequence targeting the Quadratus Lumborum in particular, but it's also helping with the rest of your back. So I hope you feel a little bit different to when you started. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. It will help me enormously. And I look forward to seeing you very soon on the mat.